Well, the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has called a surprise general election for July 4.
Earlier today, I spoke with His Majesty the King to request the dissolution of Parliament. The King has granted this request, and we will have a general election on the 4th of July.
The Prime Minister says King Charles had agreed to formally dissolve Parliament despite an election not needing to be held until late January. The 44-year-old's party has been trailing in the polls since 2022. It's a huge lead at the moment for Labor. Rishi Sunak hoping the UK's improving economy and eventually declining inflation will be enough to get him re-elected.
These uncertain times call for a clear plan and bold action to chart a course to a secure future. You must choose in this election who has that plan, who is prepared to take the bold action necessary to secure a better future for our country and our children.
Labor leader Keir Starmer says the election is about change, stopping the chaos. He says he'll return the country to the service of the working people if elected.
Over the course of the last 4 years, we've changed the Labour Party, returned it once more to the service of working people. All we ask now, humbly, is to do exactly the same for our country and return Britain to the service of working people.
Joining me live now, former Attorney General for England and Wales, Dominic Grieve. Thank you for your time. It's a bold strategy. Is it a Hail Mary that'll get a miracle win, or is this just about trying to save the furniture?
I'm not sure it's going to make any difference. The opinion polls have been set against the government for months. And the difficulty that Rishi Sunak has got is that he inherited, firstly, a chaotic government because his two predecessors were unfit for office. But on top of that, he's also inherited a policy which was embracing leaving the EU, which hasn't delivered any of the economic benefits that the Leavers said it would. And indeed, the UK economically is underperforming compared to most of its continental partners and rivals. And so it's very difficult to persuade the electorate that the period of Conservative government has delivered anything. And the problem is that in those circumstances, all that Keir Starmer has to do is to market himself as being a man of decency and integrity, which he comes across as rather well, actually has a bit of a policy vacuum. He doesn't even have to develop those policies. And the chances are that he will win a thumping majority. And in fact, the Conservatives may well be going down to the worst electoral defeat in the last 100 years.
It's staggering to think how much things have shifted since that 2019 election. That then was such a disaster for Labor. It was going to be minimum two election strategy to get back to power. And now it seems like a fait accompli. The hope for the Conservatives seems to be in the near term, things are improving. Look, Rishi Sunak has been a much more stable presence, I guess, at least compared to Liz Truss and her 40-odd day job as Prime Minister, and things are improving on the inflation front. But this country has been smashed by inflation, more so than just about any other.
Yes, I think that's right. I don't think people are necessarily unappreciative of what Rishi Sunak has tried to do. But I think that the difficulty he's got is that he hasn't been able to show results. And whilst there might be results in the future, they're not present at the moment. And he's running out of room. So he could have waited to the autumn. But was that going to make any significant difference? And then we've got immigration issues and anxieties over illegal migration. He's got a policy which many people doubt will work, which is about overseas processing in Rwanda. But actually having the election now, the policy is just unproven, whereas I think the high risk was that if he left it to the autumn, it would already have been becoming clear that the policy wasn't working.
Look, it sets up a fascinating contest, albeit one we think we know where it's going. Who knows? Dominic Grieve, appreciate your time. Thank you.